that I don't think we've had the chance to cast just yet. And this is actually the first time I think that we are going to see Crystallis play this for this qualifier.
Yeah, Crystal is going to bring it out. It's a hero that we've seen banned a lot. We haven't necessarily seen it in our series, but excited to see it. I also think it was a nice call that Darkseer was a good hero in this game, but I'm a little bit worried for him because it's not easy against that Disruptor as well. So, like the panel mentioned, that pick works so well for Secret, they still want it, but can be a little bit difficult in laning stage here. So, excited to watch how this one's going to play out.
So do you also agree that we should be keeping our eyes on this mid lane? Is this where everything's really going to start popping off?
I think the mid lane is definitely going to be super crucial. We've seen GPK set the tempo for a lot of games. On his Primal Beast yesterday, he was absolutely monstrous. So yeah, want to keep an eye closely on GPK for sure and what he's going to be doing. Same with Nisha, of course, on his Batrider.
That is a very high tempo lineup going out to the side of VP, but also, you know, being able to have that Tiny, being able to have the burst potential, closing the gap, trying to put that pressure on the sniper. So all eyes over on these tempo making mids.
A little bit of a win here for Dire as they managed to bully back Secret from the top runes here. Just respecting the Undying. He's so strong and they don't really want to fight for the runes there. So 3-for-1 for VP, get a little bit of advantage from the start.
Now, I do have a question because we have Zayat's playing his Nyx Assassin. This poor man has only, it feels like he's only played Nyx Assassin. He's also played, you know, some Earth Spirit, a couple others, but, you know, 7 games of it so far. But Nyx, even though he's on the rise, especially in Immortal pubs, he's not the strongest laner. And usually you want to pair him up with something like a Necrophos or an Enigma or something ranged to really, you know, make it through this laning stage more comfortably. Is this going to be all right for him here in this top lane with Rezo?
I think it's going to be fine as long as Rezo can push. I like the move that VP did there, just realizing that they're strong, so they fight before the first creeps meet, just going up and fighting with Undying and Luna, pulling back and getting a little bit of an advantage to the point that already we see Secret, of course, going for the pull. We see a similar thing being done by VP, so both side lanes are trying to get the creeps back behind their tower. And Puppy with the body block.
Oh my goodness, top lane there putting a lot of pressure over here on Rezo. They do have a Mango if they want to try to go for another Decay, but they'll go pop the salve. Not quite. Oh, there it is with the Lucent Beam from Ramses. There will be our first blood.
He just barely couldn't get around the tree line there to get into Fog of War. Luna cooldown just came off in time.
Puppy taking a lot of harass after going underneath the tower, trying to contest some of these pulls here.
Yeah, both teams are just attempting to keep pulling. We see Zayat, of course, on his Nyx going again, just stunning up the Undying and running away with the creeps again. Trying to not have just a fair lane, let's call it, because Luna's last damage is so strong. Iron Shells are not reliable enough for last hitting.
I think this is a nice solution to, you know, they have this double melee lane up against Luna, and again, as we said, this Nyx Assassin, not the strongest of laners, so being able to cut the wave like this, definitely the opportune play. But let's check in with the mid lane, because I saw earlier, GPK was sitting very low. It's hard to go up against a bat here as a Tiny, as a melee. Has picked up the Magic Wand, though, super early, which I think is definitely needed, and is holding his own.
Yeah, he also opted to go boots early so that he's going to survive. Usually we see mid Tiny go for bottle early, but you get all the mana you need from Magic Wand. And with the boots, he stays alive a little bit better against the Sticky Napalm Firefly. So I think this is a really good itemization by GPK.
Let's see the Firefly with the 4 stacks, 5 stacks Sticky Napalm, but again, GPK going to just walk away from Nisha.
For now, not too much gonna happen in terms of like looking for ways to kill each other here, as both teams are playing pretty safe on the safe lane. Luna is free farming quite well. The sniper is also being very protected. Puppy going up and doing some harass. This might actually hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, speaking of the harass here, looks like it's going to force the TP out over for the DM. So there is the potential of them trying to make a play on Hakoda if he gets close enough, but definitely feels like he's just going to continue to cut these waves and try to just make it a little bit easier over here for DM, who's eventually going to come back.
That's pretty painful, though. TPing base is not something you want to do in the early game. you have to run all the way back to the lane again, so he's losing some time, presence on the lane, and gives more free farm over to the sniper, of course.
I mean, that's the power of the Witch Doctor. We've seen Insania play a ton of this hero, and just the amount of just harass that you can put out with a Maledict is just so good, especially towards, like, you know, tankier heroes or whatnot, because of that little bit of percentage. But nice rotation here from Secret will ensure that they get those water runes. And Nisha, of course, refilling his bottle.
Yeah. Top lane, Rezo is just trying to be cheeky, get as much farm as he can, but he can always get out. This lane doesn't have great ways to kill a Darkseer since they decided to lane the Undying top instead of a Disruptor. But I think this is just because they felt Undying would get bullied on bottom lane by the double range of Witch Doctor and Sniper.
They'll even go drop the tomb here in the top area.
Yeah, they're dropping it so that they can farm the big camp as well.
It's a good way to interrupt these little bits of pulls that they have going on too. Zayats is making a little bit of rotation. Looks like he's going to go for the stat camp. And I'm curious now, we did see that Puppey made his way over to the mid lane just to help out with the rune control. Are we going to see any sort of rotations coming towards this mid lane, or do you think it's going to be the rotation of the mid?
I certainly think that they're going to move to check these 6-minute runes coming up pretty soon. If Tiny gets a haste rune that's super big, same for Batrider, of course, with a haste would be insane. I mean, in general, any power rune is pretty nice to get, but these are very, very powerful mid heroes when it comes to making rotations. So we do see Hakoda running towards mid already with wards and sentries. Definitely wants to plant a fresh one.
It's been a pretty quiet game despite everything, though. A little bit of a move over in the mid lane, though. Going to put the pressure over on Tanisha. He's got Fire Flame. Needs to be careful now. Hakoda on the other side. Get the glimpse back, though. Should be able to help get this final hit over on Tanisha. Oh, no, they're not going to be able to quite get it. As now GPK. Maybe? He's trying to get there. He's trying to throw. Oh, he's not going to be able to go and finish off Nisha there. So he's going to have to just be satisfied with killing Puppey, but that is not the kill he wanted. And Nisha, with that Firefly, with the boots, and just being able to fly over trees, is going to survive.
Yeah, he survives, but Puppey just stayed a little bit too long there. Gets picked off by GPK. I think he could have backed out earlier, but probably didn't recognize that both Ava and Toss were coming off cooldown there.
It's not going to be able to quite land that Impale, but does manage to snap up the Arcane rune, so no Arcane for GPK, but is going to put the harass over to Zion. It's a good spike. Carapace will slow down. Another glimpse, but the hit underneath the tower means that they'll end up getting killed on Hakoda, and GPK also takes just so much harass from the tower and the clicks of the side of Secret.
Hakoda tried a nice play there. He dropped the sentry ward in the tree line under a tower to try and get vision for the glimpse early, but then couldn't quite get the glimpse on Batrider. He wasn't right on top of him. I mean, it's only a very minor amount of vision you get from the sentry drop, but didn't work out, got a little bit too close to the tower and goes down in the end.
I mean, every little bit helps for sure, but like you said, doesn't provide that much. So it seems like this mid lane going very, very nicely for the side of Secret, even though VP trying to apply pressure, trying to provide support, but it's just proving to be a little bit difficult for GPK. He still is not, you know, doesn't have any deaths yet, but DM doesn't have a TP here, but the rotation immediately from GPK will toss Crystallis up. Hakoda being able to keep some vision over onto Crystallis. They will eventually get DM because he's taken too much damage from the Maledicted. Eventually they'll get Crystallis. Now Puppey, that Nisha's here. Nisha says, yeah, I'm gonna find this opening on GPK. I'm gonna use my lasso, and that's a lot of Firefly. Need perhaps one more hit. There it is, and now Puppey looks like he is gonna be the next one to die. And Hakoda
well,
chasing, yeah, I mean, he can't get away from this. What a brawl in the bottom lane.
End of the day, Nisha is the only one surviving that, so still works out pretty well for Secret as they're getting more momentum for this Batrider, and I think they need it, because right now, this Luna is farming extremely fast. She's growing faster than Sniper. There's a bit of a disparity here between the two carries, how fast they can switch into jungle and start farming up. And Luna is going to just take to a jungle now. The laning stage is essentially over for her, I think, and can start getting a lot of neutral items for her team as well this way.
Well, we also talked about how a lot of the times you'll see Ramses going for more of like that greedy build, and you can see he's just focused up, wants to hit jungle creeps, wants to continue to use those Moonglaives and the Lunar Blessing for the extra little boost here. So Makes sense. It is a little bit slower for a sniper to be able to farm, but still doing all right on both of these heroes.
Yeah, he's getting decent farm, but he will struggle to keep up, and that's going to be the thing that Batrider has as his task. I think him, together with Reso's Darkseer, though, they can surge up the Batrider. They might be able to find some kills on Luna later.
That'll be a lot where Hakoda comes into play, being able to, you know, babysit a little bit, or when they feel like they're going to see those rotations come out, having him in position to slow them down, or be that little bit of latch.
We have that smoke coming top now with the Batrider moving in, so they're trying to play close to Darkseer in the lane and look for anything they can find here. They don't know exactly where the Luna is.
They do have a ward over on the eye spot, but they do know Yamich is nearby. Nisha is going to farm up some of these creeps, and can see that GPK's over in the mid lane. He's found himself a puppy. Doesn't quite do enough damage though, so he's gonna just walk.
Yeah, the magic stick saves him as well. He stays alive. Gotta watch out for this Tiny with Tumblr's toy. That's a scary one. Can jump close to you. He still wants him.
He still wants him for sure. Yeah, look at this. There's the avalanche, and that's a dead puppy. Okay, Yamich. He's running forward here, Nisha. They have the glimpse. They're going to bring him right back. But there it is. There's the lasso coming out from Nisha. But there's a lot of damage being dumped here. They also have the tombstone, but they'll still manage to get the kill on Yamich. GPK now in for trouble. Taking a lot of damage here from that shrapnel, from the clicks. A good response and rotation to seeing their Batrider get pounced upon.
Fantastic. Really fast TP, and Nisha gets that clutch lasso on the Tiny as he got glimpsed back as well. Because of that, he doesn't immediately die. And combining the stick napalm and the shrapnel, people just can't move. Like, you have no turn rate, you have no move speed. You're just struggling to get out of there.
Yeah, this feels like a potentially, like, I understand with the Tiny, you know, the idea of being able to blink into the back lines, trying to, you know, blow up the sniper, but it is a pretty difficult game for him to be able to move half the time. He just feels like he's going to get kited.
Is this a 6 stack on the Ancients? That's a 6 stack that he's gone up to now. They have been stacking Ancients on both sides. Darkseer was farming the Radiant ones a little bit, but look at Luna now. That is actually, I believe, 6, right? Yeah.
It's a big, juicy stack, that's for sure. Coda gonna be able to help make it more efficient for Ramses to take these creeps. With all 4 points in those Moonglaves, so they're gonna be bouncing around quite a bit, and that is a huge inflection of cash.
Yeah, Luna starting out farming this at 450 gold. We'll see exactly how much she's going to get from all this, but this is a lot of cash, and they're rightfully playing in the area now, keeping GPK around as well to shield against any invasion here. Just losing this stack would be a game-breaking level impact, so they're protecting it.
And GPK take his own little stack here to the side, but yeah, look at all of this gold. It's gonna make this BKB come online a lot faster.
They
A little bit of a poke over on Hakoda. GPK is nearby though, so if they go for this play, they'll go for the Witch Doctor, and they'll be able to find the kill. But they'll turn back around now. Nisha forced away. Yamich is taking too much damage. He'll kill the Undying. And now GPK is forced back. He does not have the rest of the backup that he needs. They just really don't seem to care about this Tombstone either.
Yeah, I was surprised to see even Ramses running over there to try and help whatever he can. He was busy farming the stack, of course, but he went over there attempting to do what he can to help his team. And after finishing that Ancients, that was 1,000 gold that he got from farming the entire Ancient stack. So quite a bit of gold he has now. His Ogre Club coming out, and like you said, he's closer towards that BKB. Still a long ways to go though. One hero that we haven't seen much of is Beastmaster is just farming bottom and having a pretty free game. Okay, with the Blink Dagger.
Do seem to be making this rotation down to the bottom area. They see Zayas, but okay, there's going to be the Batrider teleporting in. Jump for the toss into the roar, but there it is, the lasso from Nisha. They'll still be able to get the kill on Zayas. Puppy though coming in, the cast bounces are a nice DM, taking so much damage. He's going to end up dying now. GPK is trying to get away. They still have that little bit of vision on him. Not sure here. He's definitely taking those ticks from Maledict quite seriously, but does have a salve. It's gonna be all right, as now Hakoda running for his life. They surge up Puppy. Puppy does have a cask, but he's gonna back off as well. A little bit of a glimpse back. Looks like they're
Don't
just
think
kind of
Luna wants to
poking.
fight it. She's too low HP, she doesn't want to engage. They do get the glimpse back, but Luna is like, nah, I'm half HP, I just want to keep hitting my jungle creeps. Secret over and over have good reactions to when someone goes too close under tower. And VP have to be very careful about making these aggressive moves right under the tower because of sniper slow, because of shrapnel, paired up with sticky napalm, and also just the chase ability that Secret have. The surge is really, really good for catching people.
And we did see that the Wall of Replica did get dropped bottom, so that is something that's going to be on cooldown for a little bit. But I'm sure Secret more than happy to just continue farming, get these items online for Crystallis. Does have the Maelstrom, and we'll be working towards that Dragon Lance. A couple clicks over here to Yamich. Puppy closing in the gap. I don't even know if he's needed here, honestly. All right, you know, he helped.
Yeah, they have really good long-range damage on the side of Secret that's like non-committal in a way, whereas over on VP, they kind of have to get closer and personal, especially with Tiny. Beastmaster as well kind of has to get a little bit close to make moves. I like this move by Secret. They're understanding Luna is getting too much farm in the ancient area, so they're going in, trying to find her, but she is wisely sitting back. Ramsey's not falling for it.
I'm sure he realizes something's up. He hasn't seen a couple of these heroes in a while, and he was being visible in the bottom lane, so now is the time to back off. And again, I like the way that VP, they've kind of been playing closely together. They've been protecting, they've been stacking. I like to see it, but at the same time, Crystallis has been just hitting creeps. Again, not farming quite as fast as the Luna, but still getting what he needs.
There's that
Oh, the mid
Tiny.
lane, that's a quick pick off on Puppy.
Yeah, they're making good use of the Hawks. When you have vision provided by Beastmaster like this is the reason he can get these pickoffs. He knows he can burst the Witch Doctor anytime he sees him, and now it was pinged out by Witch Doctor vision here, but you can't ever be sure. Is it a ward? Is it a Hawk? And it's really annoying to play against.
Does feel like they're getting... Okay, the jump forward here from GPK. He sees Resolution. The Static Storm's going to get dropped, but looks like Res will be able to walk. Oh, gets dragged right back in again. There's the lasso over onto GPK, plus that wall that we talked about. Bit of a roar over onto Zayats, but not quite enough damage to finish off as they're gonna Delta split now. Cass gets dropped by Puppy. Zayats is he was thinking about going for this. Gonna use the dust. Looks like DM's gonna just teleport out. He doesn't want to be here any longer. Yamish, you've already popped the flesh golem, is gonna use that pig pole to get out.
They're getting such
Zayat's
good value
still
from the
hunting.
Iron Shell in this game. They're just putting Iron Shell over on the Batrider, over on the Nyx, and whenever they run close to enemy heroes, like Nyx normally struggles a little bit with having sufficient damage to kill stuff on his own or threaten, but with Iron Shell, he really packs a punch. Again, Ramsey's with really good read on exactly how close he can play to the farm.
It's a little bit more gold until he's able to get that BKB. He's making good time on it. But again, Secret, just the way that they're moving around the map, the way they're putting down this aggression, and simultaneously letting Crystallis get this farm, it's proving to be a bit of an issue now for them.
Yeah, and they're gonna be the first ones to siege up an offlane tower here. Gonna get the dire offlane bottom tower. But they're trying to go for the same thing on VP, but just a Batrider is probably sufficient to defend top. I doubt that they can really go push without using Luna.
Yeah, Nisha's having a stellar game right now. 8-0-2, almost has the BKB completed. He's got those boots to travel online.
Yeah,
This is a very scary bat.
that was, you know, the hero to look at for Team Secret. They need Nisha to have big impact, and he's been really delivering so far, and that's before he gets the BKB. Once he has BKB, it's much more comfortable how you're going to play against Tiny, against Disruptor, even against the possibility of Eclipse. So looking for him to get extra aggressive when he gets that as well. Also, Dark's here now with a Blink Dagger just arriving.
To jump forward, the blink from GPK, trying to blow up Puppy, but there are so many heroes waiting for you. Beautiful vacuum. As they get a couple of these bounces off, they drop the Static Storm. We'll get a glimpse back over onto Resolution. They've got the Eclipse. DM barely going to survive this engagement, and that was a lot of ultis with not much coming out of it. They do manage to get Puppy eventually. DM still alive, but just barely.
That was pretty good, I would say, for Secret still, even though they lost a hero that could have gone way worse.
Oh, all right. They'll finally get Zayas. Do get the Lunar Beam over onto Nisha. It's popping the Firefly. Still has the lasso. So I have to respect that.
GPK is just continuously punishing low HP heroes, getting a little bit too close. They're really putting down the hurt, and it's all based on this Beastmaster providing so much vision in the fights. Now back to split pushing, trying to get more map control. I think VP would be very happy if they could remove that top tower, so they're leaving Beastmaster close to it.
Yeah, you can see in the replay the little bit of a bait there where GPK had jumped forwards, and just the immediate vicious follow-up from both of the teams, dropping the wall, dropping the static storm, going for the eclipse, roar, everything during that fight, but didn't amount to a whole lot, which means everybody kind of just resetting on both teams because you want to have those ultimates available.
Bottom. They're looking for a kill with Batrider. He has the BKB, so he wants to chase here. He's not quite gonna get the connection though. Hakoda, again, good positioning. I know we're mentioning Hakoda to be one of the standout pulse 5 players this qualifier. He's really played good on this disruptor this game as well.
I'd say him and Yamich make a pretty awesome duo when they are on like very active heroes. Definitely enjoy watching the two of them. Those have been like my two to watch currently. That and of course the Zephyr Whitemon combo, but unfortunately they're no longer in this.
It feels like Secret now want to take fights because they have Mjolnir completed on Sniper, so their DPS is quite high, and they're gonna smoke up. They're probably gonna bring Sniper into this as well.
I mean, there's a double damage on Luna too, so it feels like if they decide, and look at the way that they're playing, or rather Luna playing a little bit closely to the rest of her team in case these fights break off. So there's going to be the blink into the back lines from GPK, sees Puppey, wants to try to punish him, but Puppey is absolutely going to be fine as they turn it back around, get the kill on GPK. Nisha did pop the BKB during this. Was looking for a pick off, and they drop the wall over to the side, but not going to be able to get anything beyond what they have so far.
That's completely fine. I mean, they're gonna kill on a mid laner. They're not chasing for more. Surge.
Hakoda here. There it is. There's the Eclipse. They're chasing after Nisha because they managed to get the kill on Hakoda over on the back lines. A couple of these cast bounces now. They'll still be able to finish Nisha. That physical damage of that Death Ward over onto Ramses is a little scary, but he's got the BKB, so they can't lock him down. Still sitting quite low, though. I don't feel like he wants to defend this at this point.
No, mid tower is gonna go down for VP, but look at Ramses. He has only been part of 2 kills, but he just got his second kill right there, connecting the Lucent Beam to bring down Nisha for 764 gold injection to this Luna again. So she is still looking like the most farmed hero on the map.
We do get that replay. So you see GPK jumping into the back line on Puppey. Static Storm, but again, we have the BKB on Nisha as he's chasing after Luna. Not going to be able to quite close that gap, as we said.
Yeah, it was a good disengage there by most of VP, but they got a little bit too caught out by their tiny. I think he didn't really have Luna close enough to make that committed of a play.
I do feel like that's a little bit difficult though, right? So you have this Tiny who's going to be your main initiator for the most part with that blink, with the item timing.
The smile. He's happy with that.
But of course, you know, your Luna isn't going to be in the middle of everyone just, you know, yet you really don't want her to be too far into this fight. You want to have some of these tankier people up front. Is that going to prove to become an issue?
Not yet. You don't want to have her there, but she's building a Satanic next item, and she's gonna want to be in the heart of the fight as soon as that is online, I would say. They're gonna try and dive in, initiate with Tiny, and then Luna is gonna charge right behind. That's the ideal execution for VP. So she will at some point be able to just go into the fights when the Satanic is complete. She already has the Reaver now. She's not far away from it.
So who is the primary target then for Nisha that he wants to jump?
It's kind of tricky to say, honestly. I don't think that you burst Luna fast enough that you want to go on her. I'd say GPK is probably the priority, since he can burst people very fast. If you bring him down, then suddenly you can perhaps have your Witch Doctor actually staying alive, less chance for Sniper to get jumped. The biggest strategy here for Secret is keeping Sniper alive and shooting, right? Like, that's the gameplay. If he's right-clicking stuff, they're good. So anything that threatens him is what they need to focus, so probably Tiny. Bottom tier 2 goes down.
You can see VP have made their rotation down to the bottom area of the map. They want to control this, take away more of that free area for the side of Secret. We've got the Glimmer Cape online for Hakoda, and now it's going to be time to work on that Aghanim Scepter, which he has picked up a couple times now in the past and used it to great effect.
Yeah, and this dragon is pushing mid tower now. They're gonna
Ooh.
get Hakoda.
Nice little hop there from Zayat. Does have the Glimmer Cape. They have
They don't have
a,
dust.
well, they have the ward there, but I think he's still dead anyways.
Yeah.
And that's something neat that I feel like is good to mention, right? We talked about in the past when you see like different drafts, one of those extra elements is making sure that you have something that's going to keep the supports even poor. And in some cases, you know, it's going to be something like a Nyx Assassin where you have to buy detection, you have to buy sentries, all of these things that are going to keep your supports from being able to get those other items quickly, especially in the case of this Disruptor, right? He wants to go for the Aghanim Scepter, but if he's going to have to buy all this detection, it is going to slow him down.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's a detail that's nice to think about when you're drafting, at least. Mid lane Puppey. Careful not to get too close. There's still a GPK sitting around in the area, always looking to jump. He has now disassembled to get his BKB, so no longer Echo Saber, just has the Oblivion Staff. He's gonna repurchase it next. We also have BKB just finished up on Sniper, so a lot of power spikes being hit here. As well as the Blink Dagger on Beastmaster, along with the Overlord.
They send something's up on Secret. They are just Delta hugging over here in the mid lane. No one is showing in the lanes. We'll eventually show Hakoda.
Sniper.
It's the jump forward, maybe? Yeah, try to put the pressure over into Disruptor, but they smoke, wrap around the BKB from GPK. Says he tries to hit Chisels, but we get that lasso off over on the back lines. The Satanic doing a lot. They'll end up losing DM, but now this pressure is on. They'll take out Puppey. They're going to end up losing Yamich. But they end up losing 2 over on the side of Secret. And that is, of course, the Sniper, their big core. They end up losing the offlane and support on the side of VP. A lot of ultimates dropped during that fight. Yet again, BKBs used. And we saw that the drag of the lasso, but with the Satanic on Ramses, it just felt like if they didn't burst him, he was just going to be able to heal back up again. That's exactly what happened. I see Zayat over here.
The problem is that they didn't have Sniper attacking. They got jumped, nice jump by GPK going in, and then they run in with the Beastmaster as well. They focused entirely on bringing down Sniper in that fight, and that's all they need to do, really. The main source of damage is Sniper, as long as they have these BKBs to protect them as well, all around the side of Tiny and the Luna, of course. Then they're not going to die that quickly to the rest of Team Secret. Correctly identifying this. We even see Yamich on his Undying, by the way, going for drums into BKB.
Zayat's poking a bit at Hakoda. They did have the sentry down. Thinking about maybe putting a little bit more pressure. GPK blinking forward over onto both the supports. Following up with a Static Storm over onto Zayat's. A little bit of a hit. That is another kill now for Ramses.
Yeah, didn't quite have the mana for a glimpse as well. Perhaps they could have gotten one more kill there, but they're gonna get away with the Witch Doctor. Still good for VP though. They want to go up. They have Hologram Vision. They see Sniper.
They do see Sniper. He's gonna use the BKB Puppey. There's gonna be a buyback now from Zayat. The Voodoo Switcheroo coming into play. Not gonna be able to quite finish him off as they go, and they drop the wall. Puppey still will end up falling. DM over on the back line though. Went for the roar play. Still going to end up dying. Hakoda getting clicked down by Crystal. GPK now on the run as Nisha finding himself another kill over onto Yamish.
Oh my god, that fight. They're still chasing top, actually.
They are. They're chasing GPK as well. They want this. Good avalanche over onto Nisha. GPK turning back around. Gets a couple hits over onto Nisha. Looks like Luna's out of harm's way, but the toss, they'll get the Batrider, but they will eventually end up losing GPK.
I'm not sure if it was caught on the observer stream there, but
Ramses.
wait, he uses Eclipse? Okay, that's not gonna hit anyone.
Nope.
Resso just runs away, and a tip comes out from Ramses to Resso, as it gives him the normal punch and runs. We saw a Ravage in that fight, by the way. Zayat, after his buyback, got a 3-man impale on this Nyx, showing exactly why his Nyx is so fearsome. Here on the right side, after they initiate, they go on him, and the buyback came out from Nyx. He runs from the tier 2 tower mid, and look at the stun. In the bottom right corner, we see it a little bit covered, sadly, by the current in-game, but lands a 3-man stun, and Sniper able to just keep attacking stuff here.
Very nicely played. And again, we do have the position 4s on, rather position 4 and 5 on each team playing some very comfortable picks. We've got, what is this, his 8th game of Nyx Assassin now on Zayat?
I believe so, yeah, I believe.
And Hakoda, of course, on that Disruptor, just showing us how to play these heroes and pushing them to the limits and how to line up all of your abilities.
Both teams trying to play close to each other here as Secret. I think they recognize that right now VP are very, very scary for the sniper, so they have to sit around and babysit him. And they need to perhaps get this D. Oh yeah, they have a gem on Batrider. He's gonna get this ward finally. That deep ward has been very crucial for VP's gameplay.
VP's still up by about 2k, but it feels like these fights, I feel like they should be going a little bit better for them, except for the fact that Secret, just their responses are so fast. They're like lightning breakneck speed, the way that they immediately collapse, they go for the buybacks, they find these angles. What do they need to do differently? Because I feel like we watched GPK jump on Sniper, but he wasn't able to burst him down. He wasn't able to do enough because he had that BKB. So how do they...
This dragon split pushing to have to go back home. Sorry. Right now, they're trying to stay grouped, but they're gonna have to send someone bottom because of Beastmaster just doing this. The dragon is forcing someone, and then they make a smoke. This is huge.
Says they're forcing them all back home. Nyx Assassin gonna break the smoke. They'll start off with the Death Ward, and just Yamich is instantly dead. That Static Storm dropped over the back line. Oh, but the vacuum wall plus the lasso over onto DM. DM's not gonna... Oh, at the last second, he doesn't manage to get the roar, but there's already lost so many. Coda next to fall, as now Ramses and GPK, they're forced to leave. They have no support left on this board.
The high ground ward and sentry by Secret, they stood in a good position. They realized exactly what was happening. And in the end, the dragon has not taken the bottom tower yet because he started running towards the fight, thinking there would be a fight, but VP just got absolutely clapped by the sniper in his positioning there.
And now they get a double damage outside of the Roche pit, so things are turning up pretty nicely for the side of Secret.
Yeah, we see a replay here again of how they go in, and this high ground ward and sentry. Look at the death wards. Even though they dropped the tombstone, it doesn't really matter. Batrider again just chasing in, getting a good grab as well. In the game, we see now that immortality has been given to Sniper, and now I think Secret feeling really confident. The game was quite even, and overall, it felt like VP perhaps were in a little more of the driver's seat, but now with this Aegis, they can't threaten Crystallis as much. And wouldn't be surprised to see Secret start wanting to get more of the cake here and advance onto the map a little bit more. They've been very much on the back foot, but with the Aegis in hand, they can start contesting the jungles a little bit more.
You can see that the Sniper is now starting to catch up to the Luna after a couple disastrous fights. I have a question though. What's going wrong in these fights for the side of Virtus.pro? Because we talked about, this is the time. This is looking really good. They have to send someone home. Their focus is not necessarily in the form of being defensive. But what exactly is happening? Because it seems like these supports just immediately get blown up, and then both of the cores, the damageers, they have to run. They can't do anything.
The move was unfortunate because they probably expected someone already to be going home. Since they were pushing so hard on bottom, they went for that smoke play, but Secret, they stayed together. They didn't even flinch at bottom tier 2 or tier 3 almost going down. So yeah, they almost lost that tier 3 tower, but they stayed together and they were ready for the move that VP were making. So Secret, they had a correct read on what was happening. They realized that split pushing Ancient on bottom was only to force them to split up, but they didn't split up. They stuck together, they were in good positioning, and played under their own wards more crucially. I think that's the hard part for VP there. They were going in blindly into the triangle, or the Ancient area. I suppose, Rip Triangle.
The bi-angle, as we started to refer to it as. But no, so is it a situation where they need some sort of a pickup on BP? So they do a smoke on smoke play. Hakoda, first one to be found. Drops Static Storm, but it doesn't matter. He's already dead. GPK gets dragged back. Nice play here coming out from DM. Goes for the roar. We get that Eclipse over on the back lines. Nisha will eventually fall. Ramsey's closing the gap on Crystallis. Is going to get hit back a couple times. They need a little bit more damage here. There it is. There's the kill, but he's going to be coming back up again. Yamich bullying Puppy over on the back lines. Ramsey, oh, the wall coming into play. Oh, God. The follow-up from DM, though, will be able to finally take down Crystallis. As now Rezo, last man standing over on the side of Secret.
That manly committing there, that was absolutely crucial, that Luna manned up and ran at the Sniper, despite him having Aegis, going at him, realizing the only way you win this fight is by bringing down Sniper, not once but twice. And in the end, after his respawn, goes down to the Beastmaster, who is still around. But fantastic start of the fight by Secret. The way they go in, Batrider completely ignoring the supports in favor of going deeper. And finding a good lasso to run in with the Tiny. The roar stopped him. We see the replay here. So he gets the grab on Tiny, starts running, gets roared, and Sniper's just shooting. So look at Ramses. He just commits. No fear, goes in, even with Death Ward on him. Yeah, that was a really, really crucial move. And despite him going down in the end, I think VP, they took a really important fight there.
I think the Luna illusion is what actually got the final last hit when he ran back into the wall.
Yeah, he got punched into it as well.
He got,
normal punch.
Uh-oh, Lakota. We'll get a glimpse off, but is going to keep getting chased here. Do manage to break the lasso. Still holding on to, I think he dropped the gem in the base.
No way.
He's going to get away? The fight. No, I don't think he's... Oh my god, I guess he is with that Glimmer Cape. Yamich, that doesn't look to be quite as lucky. Pops his BKB. Again, that's physical damage. Even dropping the tombstone. So both of these supports somehow still surviving. And now the dive bomb over onto Puppy. Should be able to just slowly chase after. Goes for the voodoo... the voodoo switcheroo, rather, just to buy himself a little more time. But they'll still find the kill. I can't believe that both of the supports survived that. I thought for sure they were toast.
You have to ban Hakoda and his Disruptor. He's too good at these fast kinetic fields and how he gets away from these plays. It's actually really beautiful to see. He gets the glimpse out and then kinetic field glimmers and starts running away. And you could almost see Puppy just being ignored there on his Witch Doctor as GPK was running past him on Tiny. He's like, yeah, I don't want you. I want a big kill. And then finally goes back. He's like, okay, I'll take a Witch Doctor.
I mean, the Tombstone Zombies probably would eventually chased him down. Maybe. Oh, yeah, look at that. The immediate ping, the blink from GPK. See, pops his own BKB. The Roto coming out from DM. They'll throw all the trees at Reza. It's just dead. So follow up with the Eclipse over onto Crystals. Oh my god, that's so much damage. Fast and furious hits over here.
Hakoda is so insane. He gets there in time, plants the high ground ward, gets the glimpse back. BKB was on cooldown after the initial jump there. No way for him to save himself.
And this is a mid-game Luna. Once you take down this tower, that's going to have all the glaives bouncing around on your racks, and you're going to lose a lot of buildings. They do buy back them on Rezo.
I don't think they care. There's no sniper. They want to keep going. If they don't have sniper, they will keep sieging here with Luna. She has full Daedalus. Her damage is really high. Waiting for creep wave, then she's committing again.
Yeah, she still has her BKB and the Satanic available, but there is a lasso, so you have to be aware of that.
I think maybe they opt out to back out in the end because they were completely out of mana on their Undying, and of course BKBs being used in the initial engagement. Decide to just take over the map again. But huge win there for VP. This game is really swinging back and forth, but now with 12,000 gold lead. That happened in like an instant. Them getting 2 team fights and suddenly they're just massively ahead.
I mean, that reaction time over in the mid lane by the tier 2, you see a slight ping because they could see that the sniper was there, and just the immediate blink from GPK. And as we talk about immediate blinks, we do manage to see Yamich here. Still gonna end up dying, but they do glimpse back Nisha for that brief moment. Now they're just gonna farm up a tombstone.
Ah, yes, the tombstone on Death Talent. It's good in team fights, but it can be a little bit of a feed when you get solo picked off like that. 175 extra gold. Now Secret want to fight more.
Zayats, he's there. He's got himself dust. This is a dead Hakoda.
Yeah, correctly pings out that he was under a ward, and he pinged the right spot too, but that ward is about to time out anyway, so even if they know it, it doesn't really change too much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mid tier 2 probably gonna go down here, but meanwhile there are some illusions split pushing towards the bottom lane with a catapult, so tier 3 tower should be going down here.
The illusion turns its attention around to these creeps, so... Well, final hit though with the glaives. Are they gonna be able to do it? Nope. It still goes down though. Not with the illusions though.
+1 for Cardi. I think the big timing in this game right now that I'm looking towards is GPK once he gets this Daedalus delivered out, he actually has the Crystallis and the Demon Edge already. With the Aghanims, we saw on Tiny how much damage he did on the mid lane there. If he can get a big tree volley, as the ability is called, then I think that could be a great way to bring down anyone.
There's the roar over on Tanisha. The burst immediate, like you said, that tree volley. Do get that little bit of a glimpse back, just in case, but this is going to open the doors quite wide for the side of VP. No Batrider for 70-something seconds. So they can go for any sort of push that they might like.
he bought out the Octarine too, so he doesn't have buyback. He's 150 gold off buyback because of that greedy play. Now, I think they're gonna go high ground, and once Luna gets to your high ground, it's very hard to prevent her from taking all the base. How can Secret defend this?
They'll go, they'll drop the tombstone, hit the drums. The shrapnel is a little bit difficult to have to deal with. Look how far back the Crystallis is able to sit.
Yeah, Crystallis, he can maybe poke away the Luna from the racks here. He's gonna try.
All right, they'll get the stun over onto Ramsey. The follow-up, though, was it a bit of a bait? Ramsey, they try to keep him alive, but no, they're not going to be able to. So they get a nice vacuum back over onto Hakoda. They pop those BKBs, but they still end up managing to take that half racks. As now the rest of the team backing off after Luna gets absolutely blown up.
That was Zayat's again, by the way. The Nyx Assassin with a big play. One downside playing Luna, those glaives bouncing around, Zayat turned it against him. He used the Spike Carapace when he walked in, immediately stunned the Luna, gets the chain stun with the Impale, and she just goes down. That's too long stun duration. So even without Backfire, they win that fight.
Zayat, Dakota, they get the lasso back over onto Yamich. Yamich getting dragged, Rezo with the punch. They'll lose Dakota, they'll end up losing Yamich. Anisha popping that BKB during that too.
Yeah, I mean, he has
Perhaps thinking there were more there.
Yeah, he has Octarine, better to play it safe. That was a big enough engagement that use your BKB. It's 2 kills. If you get those 2 kills, suddenly 3 people are dead on VP. Roche is not up yet. I think Secret, they want to force buybacks. Going towards mid.
They scan over in the pit. They know that that's where they have their eyes. And this end over, Hawk.
Look at bottom though. The Ancient is back. Wants the melee racks.
It's the beautiful ancient ice shaman.
Yeah, with an Ice Fire bomb. Roche is up now and they're starting to take it.
They know that it's there. The GPK looking, checking to make sure they don't have any vision. Goes
the
for the
damage.
blink, BKB. Look at that avalanche. Look at that damage from the tree volley. Oh my god, it's a double kill so quickly. True hit and run coming out from the side of GPK. Buyback now from the Undying. I don't think they're going to be able to get there in time. They're thinking about it. They're running as fast as they can. Yamich, he's popped, doesn't even pop the drums yet. Ghost drops the tombstone, tries to get in there quickly. DM going for the roar, but they have the Lotus and the BKB. Turn back around, Puppy putting out the damage with that Death Ward. Virtus.pro buying him just a little bit more time. It's still going to be Crystallis with the Aegis, but...
Puppy passes a Linken's and a Lotus all over on his sniper and allows him to survive the roar and TP out. What? How do you have a Lincoln?
There's a reason this guy has been at
Lotus?
every TI.
He wants to get to this TI as well, let me tell you. He's doing everything he can here.
Alright, well, have the Aegis on the sniper. And they forced out the buyback on the Undying. Go for a little bit of a smoke play with Nisha and Zayat. They know that GPK has been hunting, pushing bottom. The rest of the team, though, is grouped up. Ninja Gear, though, is going to allow GPK to get really nice positioning while this goes down. And they have to realize something's coming. They might try to bait the Luna a little bit. You can see Ramsey's backing off. They'll send over the Thunderhide. Zayat's popping the Spike Carapace right away. It's the Glimmer over onto Tiny. The drag back. They need to get there really quickly. They're doing so much damage, though, with this sniper. Yamich trying to save him. Not going to be able to do it as they do manage to finish off the racks, but they'll end up losing this Undying to boot.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold going over the way of Secret, and Undying does not have buyback, dead for 100 seconds. Still a long death timer on Tiny as well, long enough the Secret can now make a move. They smoke up immediately. There's even a DD rune top, they see it with their ward. So this is a really strong timing they're gonna hit. VP though, they want to sit around. They want to try and catch anyone who's alone, perhaps Darkseer?
Look at the way VP is like playing so tightly together here. Just trying to back off. Again, double damage over on Crystallis. Still holding on to that Aegis for another 3 minutes. They lost the gem during that fight too, so it's going to mean that the support is going to be a little bit poor, but we do see the gold starting to amount over on Disruptor.
Sniper now with
Tower,
a DD
though?
rune starting to siege. This is a really fast damage. They're trying not to split with the Beastmaster again, going for mid. They do not want to fight without their Undying as well as their Tiny. And I don't think they can get forced to buy back because they still have their tier 2s on the side lanes. They want to go Throne. They want to force it. They're sticking around on Secret, ignoring the racks, going for the tier 4 towers.
This is a calculated play here.
It's a risky one though. They're meanwhile losing mid racks. Mid racks went down to the Beastmaster.
Yeah, he's
This is
just
an
being
all-in
allowed to
play.
hit everything. They're gonna have the tiny back up in about 11 seconds. A little bit longer for the Undying.
I think he's gonna respawn in time though. Throne has buffed armor since a recent patch. I
Making
think
their way
maybe
over.
VP can hold this.
I don't know. Again, they still have the Aegis jump forward here from DM, but he's not going to be able to get the roar off. He started to build up, and he's not going to be able to do it. Gets it off at the last second. Only lands over onto Puppey. The buyback comes out immediately. GPK with the BKB trying to put the damage over onto Puppey. Nisha, though, dragging back GPK with that lasso. He's got the load on now. GPK taking so many clicks. The wall gets dropped. Rezo, though, pops out being run away. Hakoda's going to die next. Stalis, Ramsey's doing as much as he can here, trying to get these clicks off. Lots of buybacks coming out from both sides. Crystal's finally, they'll be able to go get the Aegis, but there's the strike back again. Now Yamish sitting very low. Up comes Crystallis. They need to finish him off, and he's doing so much damage with that knockback too, but eventually they'll get the kill on Sniper, while making them a little hesitant to go forward. So they saw Puppey, a good little stun over onto the side. They do finally get Yamish. Nisha still alive and kicking. Buyback now
Sniper
on
traveling
Crystallis.
in.
The hit back. He's trying to get there. Good Lotus Orb over onto Nisha. Is he going to be able to stay alive? That was the question. Sitting so very low. Ramses, he takes too much damage. There's no buyback on this Luna. GPK sitting at like 100 hit points. A couple little clicks. That's a triple kill now for
Secret have done
Nisha.
it.
They have
GG.
won it with a calculated risk of going for those tier 4s and forcing
Wow.
all the buybacks. What a game.
That was a big play to commit for the tier 4s, not taking the safe play of just going for the racks. Very, very experienced call there. We see Secret in good spirits after that. The first game was really close both ways. We saw VP taking the advantage over and over and being a little bit ahead, but Secret, they felt like they were just holding on, playing calculated and playing close,